Now, we want to continue our coverage on this and the Rust movie shooting charges. Joining me right now, Dr. Robert Sanders, Sr., a senior lecturer in the Harry C. College for Criminal Justice and Forensic Science at the University of New Haven. Dr. Sanders, thank you for joining us here today.
Glad to be with you.
First off, were you surprised about this DA's decision here?
No, I wasn't. A lot of legal experts have said they were surprised, but I'm not. There's a higher level of scrutiny that has to go with firearms. You see that now in another case where the parents allowed a child access to a weapon. He took it to school and committed an assault with a deadly weapon. You saw just recently a child with a weapon in the hallway, and those parents are going to end up being charged. Mm-hmm. The country's looking at, and prosecutors are following the lead of, what are you thinking about when you allow folks to have weapons? It's a privilege and a right at the same time, but that right has strings to it, and there's a responsibility level that has to be attached.
Now, in this particular case, Baldwin, of course, has always denied pulling the trigger, and he says that he was told that the gun didn't have any live ammunition. Do you believe that his defense has a strong case here?
Well, the prosecutor has said that there are witnesses that saw him pull the trigger. And of course, this is a film shoot, so there may even be film of him pulling the trigger. He admitted that he cocked the hammer back. Now, did he cock it back all the way and it locked, or did he cock it back and lose the hammer and it fell forward and fired? A lot of different things can happen. The facts will come out based on what witnesses say. But anyone who handles a firearm has a responsibility once that weapon is handed to you. If you take any firearms training course, you are told that you should always assume the weapon is loaded, and until you prove to yourself it's not. Now, in this case, prove to yourself that it's not loaded with lethal ammunition as opposed to blanks for a movie shoot. Well, there's testimony also, as I understand, is going to be brought forth that there was a mixture of live ammunition and blanks all over this set. That's a problem.
Well, one of the things that is brought up here is negligence. Prosecutors are expected to argue that Baldwin was negligent by not checking that gun. How important is negligence in an involuntary manslaughter charge?
Well, in this case, there's two ways to look at it. There's the ordinary negligence that someone would have in those circumstances. And then there's criminal negligence, which is what the case turns on here more than anything else. And the criminal negligence is someone who acts in a manner that really is so risky. They're throwing caution to the wind. They're acting in a manner under the circumstances, or the totality of circumstances, where safety is being ignored, and ignored at a level that is negligent and at a criminal level. The recklessness that involved here is what caused these deaths.
Now, my last question here is, the jury seems like they're going to have to decide between these two different charges, as LaToya had just mentioned, one that carries 18 months and another that carries 5 years. How likely do you think it is that he will get prison time?
Well, so in a normal manslaughter, involuntary manslaughter case, the maximum punishment in New Mexico would be 18 months with a $5,000 fine. But the prosecutor has said she's going to add a firearm enhancement. That firearm enhancement by itself is 5 additional years. So the actual potential maximum punishment is 6.5 years and a $5,000 fine. So I think the prosecutor feels that she can move forward based on two things. One, the actor and the producer all in one box, but they each had different levels of responsibility and therefore different levels of negligence.
All right, Dr. Sanders, thank you so much for breaking this down for us, giving us a little more insight. We appreciate your time.
You're welcome. Have a great day.